The final episode special of Wonder Egg Priority just aired at the time of recording of this video. The final episode that was supposed to wrap up what the 12 episode show left untied. Wonder Egg was such a breath of fresh air if you compare it to the other shows that aired that season, or even to anime that aired in the last few years. If you don't know what this show is, it's an anime original series made by Cloverworks Studio that aired earlier this year on Winter. If you haven't watched Wonder Egg Priority before, then you don't need to worry, cause I'll be going over the entire show, including the first 12 episodes without any major spoilers whatsoever. The basic premise of the show is very simple. You got a bunch of grade schooler girls laying eggs and going to a dreamscape world of other girls that committed suicide. So in short, they are trying to become the greatest dreamscape Hokage in the world. The only downside of this premise is that its darker themes of suicide may not appeal to everyone. In this dreamscape, or I don't know what I should call this dimension, they fight a trauma of those dead little girls that killed themselves at the age of 14, and in the story, they are trying to figure out why is that happening, and why are they committing suicides, and if there isn't some deeper meaning for that. In this dreamscape dimension, they have these weapons that they fight with, and I feel like it's really up to our interpretation to why each of them has their own weapon, and whenever there is something subconscious about the characters, that it leaves them these weapons in particular. Along the way, you see the life of the main characters alongside their own traumas and struggles in their lives and surroundings, which I think is really cool. At the end, we kinda got an explanation to why something like entering into this universe of young girls that committed suicide exists, but this was set at the very end of the first season, so they probably didn't have the time to actually finish it in just one season. The way the actual show ended was pretty anticlimactic, and it felt a little bit empty, so I was glad that the show was getting a special final episode, and I was pretty excited for this. So I have waited for weeks, months, years, and entire decades, okay maybe not decades, but it was pretty close to that. But then the final episode aired, and I walked out unsatisfied with a greater disappointment. This show could have been a modern classic, and one of my favorite anime of all time, but then the final episode failed me really hard. I'm not gonna spoil the final episode, so I'm just not gonna talk what happened in it, because the first 25 minutes out of the entire 45-minute special was just a recap, so there isn't much to talk about in a non-spoiler discussion of just 20 minutes worth of actual content. The episode ending up this short also killed me from all of the hype because of the amount of content that the show could give us, the viewers. Also, do you remember when I said that they are trying to figure out why the girls are committing those suicides and that they cut out the show short to air the final episode to close up everything? Yeah, they didn't even bother to explain anything, even though the last 3 or so episodes had this massive build up to this plotline, but it was never wrapped up. In fact, the show even opened up more mysteries than it had before the final episode special, and the show would honestly turn out the same way even if the final episode never existed in the first place, which makes it look even worse than it actually was. Overall, I would give a Wonder Egg Priority a solid 7.5 out of 10, because I really like the first 12 episodes. If this is the definitive ending, like it most likely is, because why would they be making 2 sequel specials, so my opinion might change, but for now I give it 7.5. I would give the actual Wonder Egg Priority show a higher score than 7.5, but the final episode truly messed up things for me, and my day is ruined, and my disappointment is immeasurable. Alright, this is it for this review. Have a nice rest of the day, and until next time, see ya later.